Hello, environmental science students. Here we go. I'm going to read through the test. We'll read all the questions. These are multiple choice. In the Google Forms that's attached to this is the place where you put your answers. There's also a PDF of this, so you can look at a paper copy if you want to. But the final answers go in the Google Doc, the Google Forms for this test. It's 11 multiple choice, one short answer. Here we go. I'm reading through it once. If you want to read it a second time, all you have to do is hit rewind and play it again. So here we go. 1. The theory of evolution states that A. Species are extinct, have no biological relationship to living species. B. Different animal species always interbreed to form new and different species. C. Species change over time, sometimes developing into new species. And D. The environment of Earth is constant over time. Question 2. Evolution can occur at different rates. However, for evolution to occur, there must be A. Variations within a species. B. Extinction of the species. C. Asexual reproduction. Or D. No change in the genes of an organism. Question 3. What characteristic could provide a species with a better chance of surviving a drastic environmental change? A. A small population size. B. A highly diversified gene pool. C. Specialized cells within the body. D. Many individuals with recessive traits. 4. Much bigger question here. Base your answer on the graphs below and your knowledge of science. The graphs show the population of rabbits with 4 different fur colors in one area. Graph A represents the population of the rabbits 10 years ago. Graph B represents the population of the rabbits today. White, tan, gray, black. White, tan, gray, black. At the end of a 10-year period, which color of rabbit appears the best adapted to its environment? A. White. B. Tan. C. Gray. D. Black. At the end of the 10-year, so look at that graph. 5. The fur on an Arctic polar bear appears white all year. The color of the fur is an example of A. An adaptation helping the organism survive. B. An organism exchanging materials with its environment. C. An organism responding to internal stimuli. D. Metabolism regulating an organism's activities. Okay, moving on to the next page. Remember, if you want to hear any question again, all you have to do is repeat it as many times as you want. Okay. Question 6. The diagram below shows 4 rabbits. Which rabbit would have the best chance of survival in a snowy environment? A, B, C, or D? Question 7. The diagram below represents an important biological concept. So we have a bird say here, yum, dark beetles, our favorite. And there's a selection of dark and white beetles. As time goes on, there are less dark beetles and more light beetles. At the end, the third one, we see that there's only light beetles. The concept being represented is A, overproduction, B, natural selection, C, homeostasis, or D, ecological succession? Moving on. Question 8. Natural selection produces changes most quickly in A, species with short reproductive cycles, B, individual pathogens killed by antibiotics, C, complex multicellular organisms, or D, individuals that produce a small number of offspring? Question 9. The diagram below represents the same field of mice hunted by a hawk over a period of 3 months. So over here we have month 1, month 2, month 3. You got about 4 white mice, 4 dark colored mice. Month 2 you only have 2 white mice, 6 dark colored mice. And month 3 you only have 1 white mouse and 7 dark colored mouse. The overall changes in the population of mice can be explained best by A, natural selection, B, succession, C, reproduction, or D, mouse extinction. Question 10. Years after the lava from an erupting volcano destroyed an area, lichens started to grow in the area. These were gradually replaced by grasses, shrubs, conifers, and finally by a deciduous forest. The process described above is known as A, photosynthesis, B, species preservation, C, ecological succession, or D, conservation. 11. Last multiple choice question. The diagram below represents the change over time in an area. So starting here, it goes from bare field to grass stage to shrub stage, pine forest stage to hardwood forest stage. It says which example is not a natural process that could return a hardwood forest to the grass stage once again. So return the hardwood forest to the grass stage once again. Which is not an example of that. A, a forest fire caused by a lightning strike. B, the aging and falling of trees. C, clearing the land for agriculture. Or D, a hurricane or a tornado. The diagram below, finally, this is the last question. This is a short answer, so you'll have a space on the Google form to put your short answer in a sentence. The diagram below shows a forest area before a fire, 1 day after the fire, and 2 years after the fire. Before the fire, 1 day after, 2 years after. Describe one way in which the animals in this area remained in this area after the fire may have been negatively affected by the fire. Again, describe one way in which animals that remained in the area after the fire may have been negatively affected by the fire. Okay, guys? There you go. Good luck on the test. I will talk to you later.